Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our Trailblazers segment, brought to you by Animoca Brands, we're featuring Emily Ford, self-made millionaire, host of the ITfactor Show and creator of the ITfactor. Now, Emily has shared the stage with some of the biggest names in business, including Tony Robbins, Worre, Grant Cardone, and that's just to name a few. Now, she's on a mission to help as many people as she can around the world to cultivate their own it factor so they can finally find the light that's been missing. Now, to achieve their personal and business goals in 2023, it's going to take some guidance from the very famous Emily. And today we're chatting finding your it factor so you can increase productivity and come out financially successful this year. Welcome to 2023, people. 1 week in, and we are already feeling the full effects of the holiday stress and dealing with all that money spent. Well, now is the time to hunker down, focus, shed those pounds, and make that first million. That's right, you're going to make your first million this very year. While research on charisma is still in development, one of the most extensive studies yet has found that charisma is not so much a gift as a learnable skill you can master. As far as I'm concerned, it's that certain something, that nearly indefinable quality that certain people have about them that, well, just no one else has. Because people, to be drawn to each other, takes a certain type of what we call charisma. It's a combination of confidence and charm. Welcoming now to the show is the amazing Emily Ford. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Hello, I'm so honored to be here.
Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Okay, so let's get to it. We all know someone with that it factor, right? It's someone whose personal charisma, exactly what I've been talking about, and appeal make them stand out. There's just something about them that's absolutely magnetic. They draw the attention and desire of people around them, seemingly without conscious effort. You are a business owner and you have led a team of over 150,000 entrepreneurs. You've shared the stage with some of the biggest business names in the world. Talk to me, Emily. How does one go about identifying their it factor?
After transforming so many lives and working with all different personality types, from introverts, extroverts, people that love to wear red lipstick and look fabulous, to people who wear no makeup, something that always challenged me was that I would see greatness in so many people. I would look at them and be like, this is magnetic about you. This is amazing, but nobody would ever see it in themselves. And so I quickly started to go through exercises as I coached people to mentor them to extract their it factor. And so what that really looks like is identifying what makes you unique, right? I mean, if we look at all different types of people, we look at Gwen Stefani, she has an it factor. You look at the guys from Duck Dynasty, they have a it factor. You look at Tim Tebow, he has an it factor. And so I like to look at what makes them unique, what are their qualities, okay? And then extract that, because a lot of people have really dumbed themselves down. They're not playing up what really makes them unique and stand apart in the marketplace. And if they leaned into it, they not only would stand out, they would have higher energy. Because if we look at the emotional guidance scale, if we look at the energetic scale of life, when we're living in the middle, or if we're living in fear or boredom or things like that, we have low energy. So this is not only great for branding purposes, for, just putting ourselves out there, but it's great because you're actually living more to your calling on your life. You're living more authentic, if you will, which will give you more energy.
I love what you're saying, and that's so very true. People say to me all the time, Zen, you're the host of a really fast-paced show, and you're always full of energy and charisma. What is it? How do you feed your energy every day? And I'm just high on life. That's the reality. I love talking to people. This is what I do. So it's more like the invisible thing a person has that makes them stand out in any crowd. And it's not because they talk loud, look
Right.
like a supermodel, or do the things to draw attention to themselves, but it's confidence with humility and genuine interest in others. I always say that. Now, let's move on. So, Emily, you say that everyone could have the famous it factor, no matter how naturally shy or introverted they are. No one is perfect, but at times a little self help does go a long way. And sometimes working on our confidence is the key to realizing our dreams. What do you recommend for those who need a confidence boost as a result of perhaps a poor environment and ecosystem and maybe even unsupportive friends and family?
Yeah, so good, Zen. I always say you're never going to outperform your own self-image. And you can have one day where you're flying high, everything is great. And then the next day you are just like low energy and it's just welcome to life. And there's many factors that play into that. Something bad happening in your life. Do you roll out of bed and go first thing on Instagram? Because if you do that, you're probably going to feel bad straight away. You're probably going to feel bad about yourself, have low confidence if all you do is consume rather than create. And so the reason I have confidence in sales and building teams is because I've done it for 13 years. Okay. In my first year at the age of 23, sleeping on a mattress on the floor, being completely broke in Minnesota, I didn't have confidence, but I did little things every single day that would compound over time that would give me more confidence. And I always say the future favors the bold. The person that's hungry enough to create that change, they will do it if they look at the small activities that maybe, seem so elementary, but they will compound over time. That is going to make you a masterful realtor, speaker, actor, what have you.
And consistency is key. Can't even emphasize on how important it is. But what you're saying is, to put things concretely, the it factor essentially is a combination of confidence, charm, charisma, and really good self esteem, meaning it can take your life to the next level and open plenty of doors if you have the right attitude and the right consistency in seeing something through. Now, talk to me, Emily. How did you find your it factor and what effects did it have on your finances?
Well, I grew up going to school like most, and I was very challenged in school, but I was always great at being friends with my teacher and making friends with everybody. So if you look at it, I'm really good at making friends. I'm really good at, I could talk to the wall, I could talk to a stranger, I could talk to an audience of 10,000. And I quickly realized that after school that I had the gift of connection, the gift of leadership on my life. And so I looked at a business where I could lean into that, where I could lead teams, where I could, be a spokesperson for products and services that I love. And so it's really helped me a lot because I operate in my zone of genius every single day. All day today, I'm on calls, I'm leading teams, I'm training sales teams, I'm casting a vision, I'm giving people hope. That's the gift that I have on my life. And I've just leaned into it and gotten better over time. The more repetition, the more I do it, the better I get at it. But that's, really when my whole life changed, is when I realized, gosh, I am really good at leading in front of the room. Where I'm not good is like putting together the software, figuring out the distribution, the products, all the back end stuff, the organization stuff. Like my executive assistant will laugh at me because she knows that I'm horrendous at that, right? And so it's leaning into your strengths and amplifying them. And then, as Malcolm Gladwell says, just get the 10,000 hours in and just go, 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 go until you become the best at it in your field.
I love it. And the truth of the matter is that as busy as you are, as busy as I am, guess what? I reached out to you over my booking department because I just saw your page and I was like, sure, there's a process to this, but I'm just going to reach out to her and see if she's available. And you were. And that's just me again, being my proactive self. I don't think I'm above or beyond anybody else. I work in a very, very male dominated industry. There's less than probably 14,000 live radio hosts. And of the 14,000, there's less than 18% that are women. And I'm one of them. So it's a hard industry, but I'm enthusiastic. So let's talk about that. Be enthusiastic at all times. It's what you just said you are. It's who I am. It makes you instantly magnetic to a whole range of people. So coming across as positive and upbeat are qualities that help you stand out from the crowd. Plus, good energy attracts other forms of healthy energy. Also, I always like to say, listen to other people. Having excellent listening skills can take a personality to the next level. Now, possessing a good listening skill is as rare as gold dust, my grandmother used to say. But if you do have the ability to listen, it really gives you the edge in every aspect of life, including professionally and romantically. Talk to me about the importance of listening, Emily.
I love it. I always say, like, really stepping into your it factor, if you really boil it down, it's absolute presence. I mean, think about it. When someone is communicating with you, when someone's trying to sell you something or just make a new friend, when they are locked in and making eye contact with you, when they're fully present, not looking at who's walking by, right? When you're on that date and you're like locked in, there is a different frequency, a different energy that happens. And I always say people are either attracted to you or they're retracted from you. And so when you have that absolute presence in all that you do every single day, every single meeting, and you're like all in, there's a level of certainty that you cannot manufacture. There's a level of connection that you cannot make up. And it is becoming more and more difficult for people to actually be present in what they're doing. And so I always like to talk to the people that are like me, that are hungry and they want to create change in their life. It's like, then master focus and master presence, because you are going to be lapping so many people in your life.
Oh yes, without a doubt. Now let's chat confident versus cocky. Okay, this is another one. When we're trying to build our self-esteem, many of us often fall into the trap of crossing into the cocky territory rather than simply presenting ourselves as confident. What advice do you have here?
Yeah, I think cocky, you could be arrogant, you could be a know-it-all, and there's such a difference from coming from a place of love. So I think of, where is it coming from? And even me, I can stand in front of a room and do flip charts, compensation plans, show you how to build teams. But if it's coming from a place of love, there's a different delivery versus coming from a place of, I know it all, listen to me. And so I like to reverse it and make it about the person that I'm speaking to. And in regard to how is this going to impact their life versus, look at me, I'm a know-it-all, I know everything. And there's times, like, listen, we're human, we're powerful women. There's times, especially when, I sometimes speak and it's all men and I'm the only female speaker. Like, there is that natural, I need to prove myself, kind of vibe. But I think if you come from a place, again, of love, it just translates differently.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the line between the two is so extremely thin, but truly, what I always say, acquired confidence never comes across as arrogant or conceited. And so I think there's like a big difference there. And it's very important to be able to differentiate the two. But what you just said, you nailed it right on. And of course, having presence means that people instantly notice you and they just want to listen to you. And you definitely command presence, Emily.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. It was such a pleasure chatting with you. You have such a unique perspective on things. I would love to invite you on to chat more about life, love, success, and really finding that it factor. Because I know in talking to you today, I kind of scaled myself down just a little bit, and I could almost feel, where my strengths are by speaking and talking and listening to somebody like yourself. So thank you.
Thank you. It was an honor to be with you.
That was our Trailblazers segment by Animoca Brands. Do check out Emily on the gram at It's Emily, or definitely head to itsemily.com, and always head to animocabrands.com to check out all the fun and action. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Animoca Brands. As a worldwide industry leader in digital entertainment, blockchain, and digital property rights, Animoca Brands plays a key role in the future growth of the open metaverse. During unstable times like these in burgeoning industries similar to blockchain, it's important to realize that blockchain can and will survive and eventually flourish, and industry-leading companies like Animoca Brands will guide the transformation into the future. Animoca Brands will keep building a better and fairer Web3 ecosystem, create impact for better, and bring true digital property rights to all internet users through NFTs and the open metaverse. For more information and to become part of the excitement, go to animocabrands.com. That's animocabrands.com.